Welcome back, and today we're talking about Listeners episode 12. So, like always, let's just jump into it. So, episode 12 of Listeners, the last episode of this anime. We don't know if we're gonna be getting a season 2, but let's break this episode down because I got to say I was really disappointed by some of the stuff that they did in this episode. Number one, I knew this was gonna happen. There was no way in one episode they were gonna be able to, resolve everything and give, character development and the status of all the characters and what they're at once they save the world in about 20 minutes. On top of that, this episode, we had the intro, which is what, like a minute and a half. Then in the middle of the episode, we got like the whole Jimmy outro or ending music. And that was like another minute and a half, give or take. And then we got the actual outro of the anime, which is again, it's about another minute and a half. So really, this episode wasn't even a normal length. It was really just like 18 minutes instead of the 20. So the fact that they tried to put that much content in that amount of time, it was going to be a disaster. And honestly, even some of the decisions that they decided to do was just crazy. But we see that Eiko was able to put a stop to Mew by pretty much saying that he does understand her, right? And you gotta think, Echo, in the world that he lived in, he was collecting trash. I mean, he was literally the definition of nothing. I mean, that dude really was just collecting trash for his whole life. And at the end of this anime, he saved the world. So that's kind of, I like that whole metaphor that they were trying to go for, trying to tell Mew, like, even if you think you're nothing, your life is still important. And I like the whole message. It was really awesome. Now, what I didn't like was the fact that we don't know exactly what happened to Mew and Echo. We see that whenever Mew was saved and Echo kind of jumped into that big hole to get her, a big green light kind of showed up. And to me, it seems like they were transported into another world. And then a couple years later, they seem to be like a reincarnation kind of thing, right? We got to see the earless boy that really resembles Echo, and then we got to see the human girl that really resembles Mew, and they have kind of like the same persona, right? They behave the same. So to me, it feels like they are reincarnated and stuff like that. But then we got to see Nier and Richie and Lied. Now, I did not see this coming, and I got to say I was really disappointed by it because Richie and Lied, they were two of my favorite characters in this anime, and we saw them get destroyed. I thought they were dead. We were led to believe they were dead. They had a burial, they had a ceremony, they had everything. They buried two coffins. So we got to see Nier actually grieve for them, and she was out for blood because she knew that Mew was the one that killed them. So she was like out for blood, trying to get revenge. And all of a sudden, they show up to school. And I was just really disappointed by that. I mean, I was like, dang, don't get me wrong. I love those characters and I'm happy that they're back. But when they died, that gave this anime like a sense of dread, a sense of loss. That, some characters are not going to make it through this world-ending event. I mean, Mew was destroying the world. And you would think in this type of event, more people would die. But instead, they revived Richie and Lied. And the excuse they gave was that the old lady thought they were dead and that's why she had a burial or something like that. I mean, it was just wrong. I mean, I honestly thought they were dead. They should have stayed dead. Now, at the end of that episode, right, we got to see kind of like Echo and Mew. They were like in a different world, right? Like a neon, more modern world. It seemed to me like it was like today's world, like the world that we live in. So maybe they did get transported into another world, which kind of leads me to talk about Jimmy, right? We got to see Jimmy like for a good minute, and he was talking about the earless and player cycle that they have, and maybe that's what he's talking about, right? Where Mew and Echo, wherever they're at, it could be another world, it could be another dimension, it could be wherever. There's gonna be another like either earless cycle or something along those lines, and pretty much Echo and Mew are there to like save that world. Maybe that's the case. Now, we don't know if we're gonna get a season 2. I don't know if this anime is that popular to grant, to get another season. That's something that we're gonna have to wait and see. But overall, this episode really kind of ruined the anime for me. I thought the anime, when it started out, it was very slow. Then we had a couple great episodes, and then this episode kind of tried to give like the best happy ending to all the characters, including two characters, my favorite characters, Richie and Light, that I thought were dead. But it is what it is. Honestly, this anime was kind of disappointing, especially at the end. And if we get a season 2 or not, I wouldn't be, you know, I wouldn't mind it if we don't get a season 2. But like always, let me know what you thought of this episode. Go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode.